Hello and welcome to another episode of I'd Swipe Right to That. It is June 24th at 9:30 p.m. We're recording episode 3 called The Hero Challenge. My name is Ian Castro. Joining me as always is Grant Smith. How you doing today, Grant?
I'm doing good. It's a Friday. We're feeling fantastic. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, and it took me 2 hours to get here from Orlando when it should have only taken like 50 minutes. So it was an hour and 10-minute delay on I-4. So that was fun. Was your day better than that? Your commute to work?
It was,
Nice.
not to brag.
Yeah. For our viewers who don't know Grant, he works from home. So his commute is putting on pants.
Sometimes I don't even do that.
It must be a great life. But today is the Hero Challenge. Grant, would you like to describe that just a little bit?
Yes, sir. So me and Ian both chose 12 different comic book characters. Ian chose 12 from Marvel. I chose 12 from DC because I'm a DC fanboy. And then from that, we chose 6 of our list that we're going to swipe right on and 6 that we're going to swipe left on looking at the other person. So Ian looked at my list of my DC ones. He swiped 6. He swiped left on 6 of them. He swiped right on the 6 other ones. Today, we're going to defend the ones that were swiped left on.
Oh, yeah. And with us for the very first time is our producer, Mr. Darren Wilkinson. We call him DTW. No one calls him that.
Yeah, what does the T stand for?
What does the T stand for? I don't know. It was a play on like BTW, like by the way.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. Well,
So-
hello everyone. I'm Darren.
DTW could be like down to
Wiggle.
Waltz.
Waltz. I like
Yeah.
Waltz better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
All right. That was a debut on this podcast. Darren will be joining us on future episodes as he so pleases. He answered the call when we asked for a producer. We discussed salary, and he still joined after we said we'll pay him nothing. So
We paid him in experience.
exactly. So let's get it started. Let's pull up that baby,
Sure.
that slideshow. Do 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 do
my screen sharing is disabled, Grant.
Oh,
do 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 do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There
we're
we
we're
go.
still trying to figure out what permissions to give Darren. One of those I was on the fence about, but apparently it's necessary for the report.
How is that looking?
That looks great.
Okay.
All right. So I'd swipe right to that. Episode 3, the Hero Challenge. on this slide, we have a very good LinkedIn profile picture, if I'm to be honest with myself. This is my list of Marvel characters that Grant swiped left on. We have Tigra, Banshee, Miss Marvel or Kamala Khan, Hawkeye, Toad, and Namor. I'm very excited about a few of these. And then next we have
me in a Banana Republic dressing room. When Ian used to work at Banana Republic, I went in one day and he gave me an extra small girl shirt. And he didn't think I would do it, but I did. And that shirt for now is forever enlarged. So I'm sorry to the girl who ended up purchasing that shirt. But my characters that I swiped left on that Ian swiped left on are Bizarro, Black Canary, Deadman, Red Tornado, Terra, and Booster Gold.
Yeah, three of those are B names. I just realized.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right, so I'm up first. I have Tigra to defend first. I'm gonna put. Should you put minute on the clock for me, and then I'll put the minute on the clock for you?
I think
Okay.
that's a good plan. Let me pull that up real quick.
All right. I guess while you're doing that, I should prepare. I wrote a paper list, everyone.
In MLA format.
No. All right. We ready?
So 3, 2, 1.
All right. So Tigra originally was called the Cat back when she was first introduced by Marvel. I really like how they changed her name to Tigra. It's a lot better than just the cat. She's been on plenty of teams. You've probably seen her. She's been on the Avengers, Fantastic Four. She was a teacher at Avengers Academy. Like Hank Pym, Ant-Man, personally invited her to be a teacher there. So that just shows some of her abilities. Talking about abilities, we have superhuman strength, speed, agility, and a healing factor. So she's not easily hurt. On the Avengers United They Stand 90 show, she is a part of that team. It was a really cheesy 90s show that's now on Disney Plus. Go watch that. And you probably, if you saw the new Chip and Dale movie, she was in that, and she saved Chip and Dale from their fate at one point. So, she's saving Chip and Dale Disney characters. And if you have her on your team, she's going to bring you brawn and espionage because she has that strength for the brawn and then all that cat-like abilities for sneaking in vents, other stuff. How much time do I have?
You went over by 15 seconds. It's all good.
Oh, you should have stopped me. My bad. I thought I was having to fill the time.
No, you were good. Those were some good arguments. But kind of a knockoff Cheetah, though, wouldn't you think?
No comment.
No comment. I didn't remember the Chip and Dale. I forgot that she was in that.
She was at that comic convention or whatever. She was one of the people that you can meet. I guess that doesn't help my argument too much because everyone was a washed up star there. But
it was a good. It was a good counterpoint. I'll give you that. That was the one that really brought me in at the end. I was like, okay, wait a minute. She was in Chip and Dale. Yeah, that was pretty good. But kind of a knockoff Cheetah, though. Like literally, kind of the same character.
Can I do one more fact?
I'll let you do two more facts.
I only have one.
Too bad.
If this sways the argument at all, she's number 61. And this is a weird, I didn't even know this was a thing. She's number 61 on the top 100 sexiest comic book characters. Look it up.
I'd swipe right to that.
Oh! Let's go. Okay. Next is Grant.
Start.
Who's up? I think it's yeah.
Yeah. So, are you ready?
Yes. Wait. No. All right. So 3, 2, 1, go.
You know him. You love him. It's Bizarro. Bizarro, pretty much the opposite of Superman in every way. When he says that he hates something, he means he really loves it. This leads to a lot of shenanigans where he's pretty much doing all the things that he thinks are supposed to be good, are bad, and bad are good. It gets very confusing. So, Ian, at the end of the day, if you swipe left on Bizarro, you're actually swiping right on him. So, yeah, that's how it works. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. So, either way, you lose. And that's my case.
You have 20 seconds left.
He also has super strength, pretty much about the same powers as Superman, I believe. I think his weakness is a little bit different. It's not kryptonite. I think it's a different type of rock, I believe. But because he is so strong, I believe he has been thrown into the Phantom Zone. So if you have him on your team, he's strong.
Nice, Grant. Nice. Great job. Just based off of looks, I would have to. I'll swipe left because of what you said about it would be the opposite.
Exactly. And that's
Nice.
also why I chose him too.
Exactly. Wow. I can't win there. So yeah. And he has a ride. I know we talked about Six Flags. I forget what episode, but he has a ride at Six Flags as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Bizarro roller coaster or something.
Is it like him like moving back and forth or something like that? Or is it like
Probably not. It's probably not well thought out at all, but it's called Bizarro roller coaster or something.
You see, what would be cool is if it was like Hagrid's, where the one part of the ride where you actually like go up and then you just go backwards and the ride goes in reverse. That would have been perfect for Bizarro.
Oh, definitely, but Six Flags is not that kind of park at all. All right. Next up, I have Banshee. And oh yeah, let's go. All right. Ready? Okay. Banshee, part of the new X-Men after the original team all left. So Cyclops, Angel, Beast, they all left. Banshee was there, and he was with the team with Storm, Colossus, Wolverine. He was with that like kind of next generation X-Men. So he has that going for him. He has the power of sonic screaming, but he can change the frequency. So it's not like he's just screaming the entire time. He can change the frequency to where it can be so you can get rendered unconscious, throw up. He can put you in a trance based off of different frequencies that he's able to do with his vocal cords. He can fly technically. He still has to use his mouth, but he has gliders attached to his suit that he can fly. Another weird thing is that he can have one person only while he's flying. That was weird. It was on the page. They're like, he can only put one person on his back. So no strength. And guess what? He died a hero. He died trying to save the X-Men's ship, the Blackbird, from crashing into an oncoming airplane with pedestrians. Or not pedestrians, passengers.
Interesting.
Yeah. He has since been brought back to life, but yeah, no one ever dies in the comics.
No, they always come back.
Exactly. But he died a hero at one point.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's more than we can say about another similar character to DC.
Wait.
DC. Oh, yeah.
Are you swiping left or right?
Well. Okay, so let me talk on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
So with Banshee, you also have Silver Banshee on the DC comics.
Oh, who came out first? It's you add a name to the same.
I mean, pretty similar powers too, as well as for the other one that'll be coming up after this in a bit. But like pretty similar powers too, where it's the sonic screeching. I will give Banshee like some credit where it's due though, because his whole the thing where you can make him like sick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Marvel's Banshee did come out first back in 1967, where Silver Banshee came out in 1987.
Oh,
so actually, Silver Banshee is the copy. Anyway,
let's
continue.
go. That's why we have a producer.
Damn it. Well, it's also okay. So he is a 3-in-1 character because in DC you also have Count Vertigo, which has the same powers where like the whole mind manipulation stuff when he screams at him. He has flight too. I'll give you a right on this one.
Let's go. Okay. Awesome.
Man. All right. Up next, we got our girl, Black Canary. Ian, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All righty.
Ready? And yeah.
Black Canary, a good member of the Justice League. She played a larger role in the Young Justice series, where she actually acted as a therapist for a lot of the younger characters. And a lot of people have ranked the one episode, I believe it's episode 10 in the series, as one of the best in the series because all of the characters go through a traumatic experience. She teaches them both in combat, teaches even like a lot of the older Justice League members how to handle their emotions when a lot of crazier stuff goes on in the show with people getting killed. The show gets a lot darker in the series, but supersonic screeching, similar to the past two characters that we just discussed about, and works alongside Green Arrow. I believe they've had a little bit of an affair too. Not affair. They like each other, but yeah. So she's romantic. She uses her moves to pretty much knock out the bad guys, similar to Count Vertigo, and she's a damn good fighter. Hell yeah.
Nice. That was right on time. Yeah. This was an interesting one for me because we made a list of 12 basically to dwindle it down to 6, so we didn't go over on the episode. And she was one that I was on the fence about. Didn't know a lot about that. I knew her power set, but that's one of the characters that you chose that I actually knew, and I knew she had a relationship with Green Arrow, right? Green Arrow, yeah. So yeah, and I never got that far in Young Justice, and I really don't remember much about it, but seems like she's doing good.
He also in the Batman Brave and the Bold TV show, one of the episodes that won an Emmy was with her in it, where it was her and Batman teaming up to fight the music maestro. So of course, someone with vocal powers is able to fight the guy who has the music powers. So
Okay. Well, I think that was the nail in the coffin. I'll swipe right.
it's always the Emmys. Always.
Yeah. Has to be. This one is probably my favorite, Miss Marvel. I'm very excited that you swipe left on her because I got a lot to prove. All right.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Ms. Marvel, aka Kamala Khan. She is an Inhuman who got her powers from the Terrigen Mists. I won't get into it. Some clouds came down from the sky and gave her powers. It's a big story. She was a fangirl of all these heroes, most notably Captain Marvel. So that's why she goes by Captain Marvel's original name, Miss Marvel, just to honor her and pay homage to that time of Carol Danvers' life. What can't she do? She has the stretching abilities of Mr. Fantastic. She has like similar abilities to Pym Particle, so she can grow in size or shrink. She used to be a polymorph, so that means she can change her appearance. And she really hasn't done that since like the beginning of her powers, but she kind of does it every now and then. And she has a healing factor as well. So when she was teaming up with Wolverine, by the way, who endorsed her from the beginning, Wolverine's like, "Oh, you have a healing power too? That's awesome." Captain Marvel endorses her. Wolverine, like I said, loves her. The Inhumans approve of her. Everyone, bro.
Everyone. But do we really need two characters with Marvel in their first name? I don't know. It's kind of stroking the ego if they got two from Marvel.
No.
No.
Isn't there a Marvel character like someone named something Marvel in DC?
Yes, I'm pretty sure Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because the DC, there can never be a Captain DC.
DC's nuts.
DTW.
DC.
I don't know. If huh?
So she got some good powers, some pretty overpowered powers. What's something that's wrong with her?
Something that's wrong with her. This is not even her fault because she is perfect. But they're not doing her right in the MCU show.
Yeah.
She just had her Disney Plus debut a couple weeks ago, and basically instead of all those powers I described, she has this thing where she can put on a bracelet and make light out of her body. We're halfway through the show so far. I'm like 3 episodes in. That's all she can do in the show so far, and I do not like it.
Sounds like kind of a weaker Wonder Woman. I'm gonna swipe left on that one, just because the whole bracelet thing that you mentioned. I mean, I know it's different, but
would you be down to swipe left to the MCU version?
Yeah, I'll give it that. There's still something like with all her powers, I'm a little on the fence. It kind of reminds me of like Halo from DC. Her character, where she has like a bunch of powers. She also has the whole healing factor too, where I'm like, are these like getting into Mary Sue territories or 1 second, folks?
No, I completely I get what you mean. So I get it. I didn't want to pull this card, but you're racist if you don't. No.
What?
I'm just saying she's Pakistani and we all know how you feel. No. Nope. No. I get it, Grant. You have not done what I have done in the past month, where from 2014 to 2021, I've read every single one of her comics. So I get it. You're not on that binge. Get on it. And then get back to me in a couple months.
Is the show like on par with like WandaVision in terms of like Marvel TV shows?
Oh, no, don't skip the show. Go to the comics.
Or the comics?
Read some literature.
Really?
Yeah. All right. Wow. That is not an alive person.
Some might say he's a dead man. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better. It seems like you are going under a tunnel while underwater as well.
Really? Shit.
Just a little bit.
This way. Test. 1, 2, 3. I'll edit this part out. It's all good.
No, keep it in.
Cool. But sounding a little bit better.
Yeah, that's better. That's way better.
Honestly, I think you sound fine the whole time, Grant. Like, not bad, but I understood what Ian was saying, but I think it's not bad.
So
And
Ian's gaslighting me again.
a little bit, probably. And we probably should edit this part out. But yeah. Anyway,
No, we'll keep. Well, maybe.
we'll
yeah.
see. All right.
All right. Dead man with a plan. All right, let's get into it. Dead man, he's a pretty cool character. So originally he comes from a broken home, ends up leaving, goes to work at the circus. He rises up the ranks in the circus from cleaning up elephant poop to being a gymnast, where he becomes the fantastic dead man. Then one day, while he's being a trapeze artist, he gets shot, and he wants to go try to find out, okay, who killed me? This spirit called Rama ends up reviving him, and giving him the opportunity, where he came from this broken home. He's still a very selfish person, even with all the fame that he had when he was still alive. So now he uses his powers for good to possess other people and try to set them on the right path. So his main power is possession, but he has come in clutch in both the John Constantine movie, where they teamed up with Batman, as well as the Injustice movie that recently came out, the animated one this year, where he possesses Dick Grayson, and then Dick Grayson becomes, instead of Nightwing, Deadwing. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. It was just cool the fact that they gave Dick Grayson's Nightwing into his own character collaboration with Deadman. It was wild.
To go back to he possesses people against their will for their own good.
Kind of. It's not explored too much, I believe, in the comics with how that exactly works. He does like take control of some people in order to defeat bad guys. So for instance, like if a bad guy wants to trap another character and is about to go like bring him in to kill him, he'll pretty much possess the good guy, and then he'll go possess the bad guy just to get close enough. A lot of his powers have to deal with magic and like the mystic arts with John Constantine. So it's kind of on like that playing field where there's like more supernatural stuff going on. But yeah,
Wow.
no, he possesses people, so that way they stop being bad, like drug dealers.
That I feel like that's kind of he seems kind of like the Punisher to me. Like the Punisher has his own agenda. I know he does things a lot differently with guns.
True.
But it's like he has his own agenda to where he's going to stop the bad guys no matter what. And his is all about possession. It seems like he's crossing a moral boundary just because Punisher does as well, because Punisher, instead of, arresting people, kills them. So interesting. What were you going to say?
There's not as much like malintent with him though. Like he's not as edgy as Punisher. I'll say there. Like that's a good distinction that you brought up too with how they work. Because they're also both like kind of fueled by revenge. Deadman wants to find the people who killed them, so that way he can kind of get his vengeance on them, but he's not as like edgy with it. There was one cool episode where Batman died, and he ends up like teaming up with Deadwing in order to like get revived, and like once Batman gets atoned for his like revenge, then Deadwing does. It was a nice little arc, but some cool powers. It's not a lot that you can do with possession, but they somehow are able to make it work.
So has he ever gotten his own? Has he ever broken out other than like being a part of someone else's show or someone else's like setting, basically?
Not in the movies and not in the TV shows. I'll say that he's more of a side character, but
Okay. I am going to. I swiped left on him. I like the argument though. It was a great argument. I just he has to, yeah, he's drawing a, like, it's a moral compass kind of thing on me. I gotta know about more about him. I'll get back to you in a month.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's if his, I think I would trust him a lot more if he wore a crew neck, maybe.
But he is a trapeze artist.
Oh, true. So does that mean he has to wear a V-neck?
Yeah, I pretty much because like that's pretty much the same outfit that he was wearing that he died in, and like the whole white thing too with his face, like that's also part of his whole like makeup as well. So like when he died, he kind of just like stayed like that. Like he didn't get the chance to really change in his clothes or anything like that. So he probably smells a little bit too if we're thinking about it.
Man, my next person is not the smelly person. It is someone else. It is Hawkeye. There is a smelly person coming up. I promise you that. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Hawkeye, aka we're talking about Clinton Barton, the original Hawkeye. No powers, but he's an exceptional marksman. He's an archer, of course, and he's great at hand-to-hand combat. He has the ability to hit targets from a mile to miles away. I didn't really get a stat on that. One interesting line, like comic book line that happened a couple years ago during Civil War II, from like a tree branch miles away, he was able to kill Bruce Banner before Bruce Banner hulked out. It was a whole thing, but Hawkeye, he has the ability to hit his mark from a miles away, and it could be lethal. My favorite run of Hawkeye, he can be, in the Avengers 2012 movie, he can be in the spotlight in those big battles, but I think he's more of a down-to-earth kind of guy. From 2012 to 2015, there was a comic book arc where he was just like a friendly neighborhood Hawkeye. And he helped people in his apartment complex, like, defeat a gang. I feel like he's more of a street hero, close than anything,
He helped people in one apartment.
It was for the entire community, but kind of, yeah. He helped people in his apartment complex.
Oh, if it was the apartment next door, the old folks' home, he wouldn't do it. If it was the gang harassing them, he wouldn't. But only in his apartment.
Yes, and this is not an argument for him, but I just always pictured him like, how Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, like they're all like part of the Defenders, who are more street bound and for the people and all that. I know the Avengers are too, but I just feel like Hawkeye should probably be with them as opposed to the Avengers. That's a good point. No, that's not an argument for him, but
I'll take that out of my decision. But that is a good point though, because like, yeah, he's just a guy. It's kind of like Daredevil, kind of like, I mean, even Luke Cage and all of them, like they have a little bit of a power to them, but even then, like, Hawkeye's a guy.
Yeah.
So that does lead me to my decision though, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just a guy. I know there's a lot of Hawkeye hate, and I don't want to be too much of a basic person for just making fun of like, okay, he's a guy with a bow, because like Green Arrow's the same, and he's also in the Justice League too. But Green Arrow has cooler arrows, I will say, because Green Arrow, he has the ones where he puts the giant boxing glove on to punch people when he shoots at them. So that's kind of funny.
Nice.
And you could also really spam arrows in the Injustice video games. So yeah, I'm gonna still swipe left on him.
That is completely fine. This was one of those picks where I wanted to choose a bigger name and see what would happen. If I had to be completely honest, I'd probably swipe left as well. Well, there was a point I was going to make. Temper. He has like, rightfully so, but at one point, like Scarlet Witch went out of control, and basically she killed him inadvertently. Like she wasn't possessed or anything. She was just on some rampage because she was emotional, and she dies. She eventually resurrects him, but he like doesn't forgive her, and like, yeah, definitely the temper. He's shown a lot of times being a hothead. So
How much time passed while he was dead? Do you happen to know? Was it like the
No.
blip, or was it like
Not a lot of time. If I am remembering correctly, it was there was an entire story called House of M
Mhm.
where Wanda said no more mutants and she wiped out like 90% of the mutant population. Before she did that, she killed Hawkeye. So during the Utopia world and all that, I think I'm getting the timeline wrong, but he wasn't dead that long. No.
so if it was like a month, he pretty much just got his PTO in.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely got the timeline wrong a little bit. But yeah, Wanda kills him at one point. He's a hothead. He kind of ruined the day a little bit, but whatever. All right. Who's
Alrighty.
next?
Red Tornado.
All right.
Alrighty. So Red Tornado, can't remember his original name, but some fun history with him. Originally, he was a robot designed by this one mad scientist guy to pretty much believe that he was an actual human. So he would still fight crime like how he normally would. He would think that he was just a human, though, like everybody else. But those versions of him pretty much failed. And it wasn't until the scientist's third attempt with this one that he got it right. But then he realized, wait a minute, this scientist is bad. So he has this whole moral compass thing where he's trying to figure out what it means to be human. There's a really great Christmas episode where he kind of realizes that, and there's just a sentimental moment where he fights Toy Master and everything. He realizes like, okay, this is what it means to be a human, the Christmas spirit, yada yada yada. His evil clone versions, though, the previous ones of him, they end up getting different powers, fire powers, water powers, and they end up trying to fight him. But he uses his powers to save the day in the Young Justice series. So cool guy.
Huh. You see, this was one of the first ones that I swiped left on because you break half of him, you break his legs and he's done. But it seems like he's a lot more than that. I like the.
He could also shoot tornadoes out of his arms.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You see, like all from every single time that I see this guy, it's like he is the tornado. So he has a lot more layers to him than I thought. I got like a free toy of him one time at like some MegaCon thing, and there was two parts to this toy. It was his upper torso and the tornado. So I just thought he was like a very one-dimensional character, but it seems like, yeah, he seems like a stand-up guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a character that's like him in Marvel. I would say like what's it? Vision. Vision is a really good example of it.
I was gonna say that as well. Yeah.
Both robots, kind of similar color scheme. Now that I'm looking more at them, but
Actually, Vision is a synthezoid. So
not a robot.
no.
Cyborg's a cyborg. Well, no, cyborg is an android. I think is the actual definition for him.
Actually, Cyborg is an iPhone.
iPhone 13. But
Exactly.
I think Red Tornado is cool though. He like I said, like there's a whole arc with the other versions of him because again, he thought he was like an actual human, like working with the Justice League for a good while. But he got like accepted into like the Justice League, I think 3 times. But those first 2 times he didn't even realize like what he really was. And then it wasn't like he could only see himself as a human. But everybody else could still see him as like a mechanical machine. So that's what led to the evil clones wanting to fight him and everything. They had some similar powers, but just cool backstory.
Yeah. I'll swipe right. You convinced me on this one. This was the one where I was like, I don't know what else he does, but I like it, Grant. And speaking of smelly, like we were talking about earlier, yeah, we're gonna talk about Toad. He has the ability for superhuman leaping. They don't know how high he can jump. They've never tracked it, so he could go all the way up there, and we wouldn't know. His tongue can extend for up to 25 feet. See, they gave me that stat. And he has an odor to him. You get close enough, He's gonna smell like Grant's bathroom after a Saturday night out with the boys. To
Accurate.
he's on a redemption arc at the current moment. He used to be a part of like the Brotherhood. I'm forgetting right now. The Brotherhood of Mutants, the villains. So he's kind of a C-list villain, but I would consider him a stand-up guy still. Last time I read about him, he was the janitor for one of the X-Men schools. So he was trying to redeem himself there. He saved a student once by leaping up and catching him with his tongue. And he sacrificed himself for the greater good, for Scarlet Witch.
Wait, how did he survive, or how did he sacrifice himself in that scenario?
So I haven't read that story just yet, but this was like a little synopsis that I was reading, to where he was the one who admitted that he did something wrong. I know I'm being super vague about this, but I seriously, I just at the top of my head. And he basically, as a favor to Magneto for all he's done for him, he said, yeah, it was me. And apparently he died, or he's in jail. I just know he's not around right now, but because he sacrificed for someone else,
Would you rather swipe right on Sue from My Hero Academia, or swipe right on Toad from Marvel?
This was another point I wanted to make,
Yeah.
that you should not include in your decision, but I couldn't find a good picture of him. This was the best one that there was, and this is, I think, from one of the video games.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's from like the X-Men Apocalypse video game, something like that. Every other version of this guy, he looks pretty bad. Sue, on the other hand, people worship her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she apparently doesn't smell.
That is a pro.
Yeah. If we were ranking it earlier, Toad came first as opposed to Sue. Yeah, this was one of those where if you swiped right, great. If you swiped left, I understand.
Smelly boys, we don't like them. And just the fact that he has like all this green stuff on his tongue too. You don't want to share a beverage with this guy. This is not the guy where, like, if you're just like chilling at the bar and like you get like a fancy cocktail, you're with your friends and you're like, oh, okay, let me try that. Do you mind if I try it? It looks really good. You ain't sharing a cocktail with this guy.
Did you ever watch X-Men Evolution?
No, I think I've seen like a clip or two, or I might have seen something like on the TV, but nothing like I never watched it in depth.
Darren, you ever watch X-Men Evolution?
I have not.
Really? Oh, wow. He's probably the best looking version of Toad was from that show. But X-Men Evolution is basically like they're all like every single X-Men and villain. They're like teenagers in a high school all together. And Toad is just like that. The one kid that you wouldn't really want to talk to in school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So swipe left. I'm not defending this guy.
You've made a terrible case for yourself here.
This was one of those where I was like, I'll try, but I know
can't find 12 good Marvel characters.
I didn't want to use. I wanted to inform the people about characters that they might not know. And Toad gets a bad rap.
Well, clearly not, because you're agreeing with it. But go off.
But I will swipe right on him.
There
Darren.
you go. Yeah, support your decisions.
I will.
All right.
All righty. And then we got our next character, Tara.
Didn't know who this was.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you watch Teen Titans?
Don't remember it a lot.
Okay.
That's why I'm the Marvel guy and you're the DC guy.
Gotcha.
And Darren's the boys guy. Yeah. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty, Tara. So one of her biggest stories in the comic Sorry, I gotta stop. Let's go back to Toad.
No, off camera, we said some comments. I'll restart the clock for you, Grant. Ready? 3, 2. We're keeping this in the episode. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Tara. One of her most famous comics in DC is called the Judas Contract.
Nice.
That's all I gotta say.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
All right, let's restart the timer again on that one.
I didn't even start it, so you're good.
All right, Tara. So one of her most famous comics from Teen Titans series is the Judas Contract, where she becomes like an established member of the Teen Titans. And like the name implies, with Judas, she ends up joining, I think it's with Deathstroke or some other character. She ends up betraying the Teen Titans after like months and months. And this is back in the day where like, yeah, it's comic books. You just get adapted to this character. You love her. But she ends up betraying the Teen Titans. Same thing happens in the TV shows with both the Teen Titans one, the original, and then Young Justice as well too. In that one, it's more so her like fighting for her country, trying to save it. Her powers pretty much get manipulated. So she's just someone who really doesn't have a defined path in what she's doing. But goddamn, does she have some really strong powers, being able to construct anything out of earth and matter. She's an earthbender. That's the best way to describe it. But she's earthbender on steroids because she could fly with all these boulders and do cool stuff.
From what I saw, like from because I based my decisions off of looks and then like a brief run through of powers, she's gonna get lost in the mix for sure. Like, she's never like I feel like this is back with Deadman and a lot of these characters that I chose as well. They're never gonna be the leading in anything, but she seems pretty OP. That's pretty cool.
She's defeated the Teen Titans before using her powers to betray them all, so she's strong.
Yeah. What is this from? This
This
art?
one is from the Teen Titans.
From Teen
So,
Titans.
and the armor she's wearing is like if you look closely, it is like an S for Slade Wilson there from Deathstroke.
That's
like
an
the-
S.
Yes, the little orange part there. It's really hard to see at that angle, but
I think if I was looking at it at any angle, it would not be an S. That looks like that doesn't look like anything.
semicircles.
Oh, I'll swipe right. I like it. She seems very overpowered. Doesn't have a nose based off of what this picture. No,
Well, she can't smell Toad then.
hey, that's any reason to swipe right on her. It would be that she can't smell Toad. All right, this is the one, ladies and gentlemen, that I am prepared to do, but I did not write any notes because I was late for work and I stopped writing.
I didn't write any notes.
Oh, nice.
Get right.
You ready?
Yep.
Namor the Submariner. Some call him the original mutant, like the first mutant. So he has that going for him. I included a picture with not only him, but as you can see in the background, that is Invisible Girl from the Fantastic Four. Why should you swipe right on him, Grant? She has cheated on Mr. Fantastic with Namor. That's how powerful he is. He's the king of Atlantis. He has strength, healing factor. He can breathe underwater. He has the ability to rule. He's cocky. I mean, anyone who can pull Invisible Girl should be cocky. He has abs. I have not seen him without with a shirt on. So, hey, how much time do I have? 4 seconds. He was also possessed by the Phoenix Force during Avengers versus X-Men. So he was mega OP then.
But Wait, what? Does he have like wings on him? Like, what's up with that? Like, those
I
wings look
don't know.
weird.
Let's just say it's in Invisible Girl's head, and he's her angel. She has since stopped the affair. At one point during the comics, she's like, "We can't keep doing this," and he's like, "How dare you try to use my feelings for you against me or something?" So yeah, he's very cocky. I said it already.
Like gaslight.
Yeah, I know, right? But King of Atlantis, he is part of the Illuminati.
Mm.
If anyone hasn't seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, you're dumb at this point. And yeah, he's part of the OG Illuminati, like him, Mr. Fantastic, Professor
That
X.
makes it even more messed up, though, if he was on the Illuminati with Mr. Fantastic and his girl was that's juicy.
It is, man. Oh, Captain America. Oh, yes. Captain America and Namor are like best friends because Namor is also, he doesn't age.
Ah,
Yeah, that's why he's the first mutant because he lives longer than everyone. So yeah, like him and Captain America were like best buds back in the day.
so they can play shuffleboarding together.
They can, but I don't think they will ever get to that point
Why?
because they don't age.
I see what you mean.
Like shuffleboarding's an old person thing, and they'll stay like this forever.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, we like respectful people, and I ain't about him. Also, I just really don't like the wings on him. So
That's not normal. I have no idea. I just noticed that as well. So picture him without them.
I can't.
Picture Invisible Girl where the wings are, and she's like wrapping her hands around him.
That's sensual. For that reason. Also, okay, wait. So I'm gonna need to fact check this. Who came first, Aquaman or Namor?
Namor. We'll wait for that answer if Darren is still alive. But let's. I'd focus too much on the steal your girl thing.
Yeah.
Based off of his powers, would you choose him for a team?
So Namor did come first by about 3
Really?
years.
What?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Damn. I feel like DC did a more iconic job with Aquaman, though. I will say that.
Yeah,
I feel like people call Aquaman a fish fucker more than they call Namor one. So
But that's because, like, I didn't even know who Namor was until this list. I had to look him up.
that's
Like,
that's on you, man.
If
it's
they
your
did
decision, man. You know.
the fuck fish. Yeah, in this case, I'm not gonna fuck no fish. I'm swiping left.
Based off of his powers, though,
I mean, yeah, he has like good powers, but hey,
would you want him on your team?
I'd rather have Miss Marvel. Better pick and choose.
So if I got to influence you to change one of yours, you would change Miss Marvel over Namor.
Just the comic book one.
Woo! Same, bro. All right, we're good. That's my win. Miss Marvel is the only one that you swiped left on that I was like, fuck. That's my girl, though. Nice. There we go, Grant. Defend the shit out of this guy.
Booster Gold from the 24th century. So he's actually from the future. He was pretty much just college guy. He ended up just getting a college athlete, playing football. Life didn't really go anywhere. Ended up being a janitor, kind of self-centered. Gets a little bit of home. So he gets really interested in the 20th century, ends up going back in time using all of the cool gadgets technology from the 24th century in order to fight crime. The little robot thing with him also helps him take notes of other events that happen in the 20th century. So that way he can go there and to stop the crimes. Fun fact about him, he's the one that actually coined the phrase doomsday when Doomsday first came to fight Superman and the Justice League. He's actually created by the same guy who made Doomsday as well, too. So you kind of have that going on together. So he's the one that ends up pretty much naming Doomsday there, helps fight them when Justice League comes, so he's strong and he has all those cool gadgets. Pretty much, he's your Iron Man.
Did I not see him on the list of worst DC heroes though?
So he is a little bit arrogant, very arrogant, just because again he's going back in time to make himself feel really good about himself, just because he's kind of a loser in the 24th century. So at least he's using his powers for good. But he's also, and because I swiped right, I would swipe right on him because he's pretty much a marketing major. He's really good with his branding, his PR. He ended up working, I think, with not working with them, but he was able to help sway. Shut up, Ian. Shut up. Shut up. You're wrong. You're stupid. A lot of the US government though ends up liking him in the comics just because of his like good PR and branding. They end up siding with him. Imagine he's like Homelander, but like not evil, basically. Like the people love him, like they do in Homelander.
According to CBR.com, Booster
up.
Gold is another character who is actually pretty great, but also just about completely useless. There's just something about Booster that screams failure. Maybe it's his flippant attitude or the way he goes about things or his constant joking. But Booster Gold is one of the most ineffectual yet super cool characters around.
Well, okay, so he's a little bit like Guy Gardner from Green Lantern.
Oh, Guy Gardner's a hero, though.
Yeah, but so is Booster Gold, though.
I'd say that Booster Gold is in the room with heroes.
I think, well, there is still fighting crime at the end of the day. He's teamed up with other big names. He fought freaking Doomsday too, helped fend him off when he first came to Earth.
But he came back, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
Booster Gold didn't do his job then.
Yeah, but none of the Justice League was able to either.
Oh man.
Superman
Number
died.
3 though. Number 3 on the list of worst heroes of okay.
And that's the worst hero of them all, folks.
That's live footage of Booster Gold in action.
Taking him down.
I'm going to swipe. I'm going to close the app and wait for it to refresh so that I don't have to waste a swipe on him.
You're not even going to super like him.
Oh, shit. No, it's just I need to know more about him, but he just seems like he's shit on a lot. I haven't heard a lot of good things.
That's fair. That's fair. It's
Yeah.
the arrogance. It's the arrogance.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I'll swipe left if I had to do. But I liked it though. And I like this graphic. This was from yesterday. The Yankees were losing, but we lost today, actually. We just lost
Damn it. What was the score?
3-1. They got another 3-run home run.
Damn.
The Astros, yeah. Wow. Special shout out to our new producer, Darren Wilkinson. Darren, what is your middle name?
The same as Grant's, actually.
Michael.
Michael, indeed. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Darren, what's your social security number?
The number after yours.
They don't share the same birthday, but there was no kids born between them. So that's why they share the same social security.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was a weird 2000 year. You guys are 2000 kids. I'm a 90s kid. Whatever.
By 1 year. Are you really a 90s kid if it was 1999?
Didn't I talk about the Avengers United They Stand, the 90s show? You know what was weird about that show? And this could be the final note. Ant-Man was the star and leader of the Avengers.
Really?
Yeah, the lineup was okay, but it wasn't like the best. It was Ant-Man as the leader, Wonder Man, Tigra, Wasp. I'm forgetting a few people, but like basically it was a world where Captain America and Iron Man were died or were no longer active. Ant-Man, I've never pictured Ant-Man as a leader.
No.
No.
Nah, especially like how he is in the movies too. Like he's not.
Well, that's Scott
Yeah.
Lang. That's
Yeah.
Scott Lang, Ant-Man. The
Ah.
original like Hank Pym.
Hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I choose Scott Lang Ant-Man over Hank Pym every day.
Yeah.
Like in the comics, Hank Pym is not only
He's terrible.
He's a wife beater.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah. And he also created Ultron instead of it being Tony Stark that created
Really?
Ultron. Yeah. Yeah, he's the one who created Ultron.
Can we talk about how useless Ultron was in Doctor Strange?
True. The robots.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in that alternate reality. I mean, they just got
Yeah, they made
did absolutely nothing.
there was like a
Yeah.
little bit of like a suspense when they first showed it, but then it was like, no, he's just getting his ass whooped.
Tony Stark's Ultron got closer to killing Wanda back in Sokovia when she was a child than the fucking, the whole flashback thing.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Damn.
anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, for those who haven't seen Doctor Strange, what are you doing? And also, why are you listening to this before you watched it?
it's on Disney Plus,
Exactly. On that note, great episode. This was the first one I was prepared for. So that's fun. How do you feel about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm hoping the audience enjoyed as well too, as we did a little bit of our game show style with these 60 seconds and our little
Yeah.
explanations after. So for our comic book fans out there, they'll really like this one.
Yeah, me too. I hope you learned something, everyone. Did you learn something today, Grant?
I learned that Kamala Khan had more powers than she does in the TV show.
Okay.
That's that's the one immediate one that I took away. I also learned Namor also came before Aquaman. What the fuck? I don't.
I learned that Red Tornado just wanted to be human.
It's really
Yeah.
good. Really good
Yeah.
episode.
Darren, what did you learn?
I learned that I'm not very experienced in Zoom, so I gotta get used to that a little more.
Well, we may change platforms, but for the current moment, we're on Zoom, and I'm Ian Castro.
And I'm Grant Smith.
And I'm Darren Wilkinson.
Nice. And this has been episode 3.
The
Thank you.
Hero Challenge.
The Hero Challenge.
Good night.
Good night.